into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, I've waited months to hear that sound again.
I mean...
Welcome back, everyone. It's been a long break, but we are back on AfterBuzz TV with your Once Upon a Time after show. It's season 4, episode 13, Darkness on the Edge of Town.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
Lots of darkness.
Bum. We are so happy to be back, and we have a new face, well, a couple new faces with us tonight right now. Well, not new, you're
Keaton's
old.
not.
Well, not old.
Ouch.
Keaton
I meant to
what I
get
mean.
Botox before this second season started.
I'm going to stop and just start saying names. I'm Tiona Hobson. Joining us tonight for the first time is Blake McIver.
Hi guys, I'm so glad to be here. This is so exciting.
Thank you for joining us. Jake will be our, wow, I just called you Jake.
That's all right.
Blake,
That's all right. I'll answer to whatever.
Blake will be joining us for the remainder of the season.
Yay.
And then over here we have our two lovely ladies, Marisa Serafini.
Hello, everyone. I miss you all.
And Keetin.
Thank you for having me back. I'm so excited to still fill in when other ladies can't.
Keetin is our resident fill-in.
I am.
She's here all the time.
I'm obsessed. And I always am like, is somebody going to be missing? Can I come in? Can I come in, please? Can I just sit on the couch, please?
It was funny, like 2 days before, like probably 2 days ago, we were talking, and she's like, I want to be on once. I was like, and then, like, literally the next day, I was like, Keaton, we need you.
You put it in the universe?
Damn. You secreted it.
I secreted it. I did.
So
You
does that make
asked
you good or
and
evil?
shall
You got a happy ending, but you
Oh
know.
yeah, she got a happy ending.
Yeah.
You know, I went to the Cinderella premiere today, so
Yeah.
I feel like a very good Disney princess.
Yeah, that makes her
I
a
am
princess.
no evil. I'm
All
no
right.
evil.
Well, we're going to talk about the evil people first.
Yes,
Okay.
We'll
we
get
are.
to the
It's
good
more
people
fun to be
later.
evil.
It is. There's more like character.
It's a lot
when you're
more fun
evil.
to be evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to be rebellious, especially you, Keaton. You don't have your headphones on.
Wait, what?
You're rebelling by not having your headphones on.
I know. It hurt my earrings. And I'm like, you know
So
what?
she has a reason.
Not doing it.
No, we're not going to suffer that look. No, we're going to
No.
keep that look.
No.
Hashtag not
Fine,
into it. Okay, so into the Queens of Darkness, we got a sneak peek of them at our last episode before the winter, or during the winter finale. We kind of got to learn about them a little bit, and now we're meeting them, and we're entering the story at their first meeting, which is at Maleficent's home in Storybrook, or not Storybrook, in the forest
Yeah.
Enchanted
many
forest.
years ago, because no one knows what time is, so everything is just
Right.
lots of years
Just
ago.
Forbidden
or-
Mountain at some point.
Yeah, at some
Long time
point
ago.
before everything else started happening,
Pre-Prince
this
Philip.
happened. Yes. So Rumple, we learned that Rumple has gathered them here to meet up because he wants to get the villains all of their happy endings.
No, he really wants his happy
Yes.
ending, but
Yeah.
he tells them, we all deserve happy endings too, so let's all work together. This is evil Rumple. This is super evil Rumple. This is silver skin Rumple. Come on, ladies. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love how he kept saying this certain line, everything's aligning. And I'm thinking, like, it's written in the stars, you know, something, his plans are aligning with each other. He said it like 2-3 times.
Yeah, which we saw
It's like,
at
that's
the...
not a throwaway line.
No, because
No.
we saw him trying to get the stars aligned when he was trying to
With
you
the
know,
hat.
use the hat in Storybrook. So clearly there's still something else going on there because he is
Something's
trying to make
coming.
it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too ambiguous. And
Yeah.
like and Belle doesn't have enough control over him to really for us to really think that there's not an ulterior motive here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at that point, she doesn't have enough. Yeah.
So just to get our time frame correct, because I know it's hard to keep up, this is happening now before the actual curse.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
So he tells them that they need a dark curse to go get. So I'm thinking, oh, well, he already has a dark curse, right?
the
he has
dark
the
curse.
dark
The curse.
But apparently
The
there's
darkest curse.
there's another the dark curse
Right.
out there that does something completely else.
Right.
So they go on a little adventure, we're gonna call it, to find this dark curse. He leads them into, you know, dungeons and
Dragons.
dragons.
The
Dungeons and
Beatles
Dragons.
Yeah,
and the
it looked like an
scarabs and-
old like
The mummy.
yeah, like an old mining.
Did look like the mummy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those
I hate
bugs.
it. There's
Those
something
bugs.
about scarabs. No.
It was Big Thunder Mountain meets Indiana Jones. Like, let's just
I
That is
will give
Slash
you
the
that.
mummy ride.
yeah, slash
Yeah.
the mummy ride. Yeah, no, totally.
Absolutely.
It was all of those things in one. So then we learned that he brought them all there because there's 3 little obstacles to get through to get to this curse, and he needed all of their specialties. So we learned that Cruella's power is the power of persuasion,
Which I
with,
love.
with animals / insects only, because we haven't seen her use it on people.
Yeah. You know what it reminded me of? It really reminded me of Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin. You know, when
Yeah.
Uma Thurman played Poison, she could like whisper things and
Yep,
green stuff
that's
came out of her
fair.
mouth. And that's what I was thinking
It looks
about.
like halitosis coming, because in cartoons, whenever
looks
someone
nasty.
has bad breath,
It's
it's
that
always like a
green.
green
I was like,
thing mist that
what
comes
is
out of their
halitosis? What is this?
Just bad breath.
Yeah.
Just
Bad
fancy
breath.
word for you
Thank you.
stink
Something
from
you
your
don't
mouth.
Translation, bad breath.
Yeah, bad breath. I mean,
But I like how they give Cruella persuasion. You know, it's devilish in a way.
Totally, it's
No
fair.
pun
No
intended.
pun intended.
Yeah.
but yeah, because I think one of the biggest things when I learned who the Queens of Darkness were going to be, I was like, Cruella never really had any power, so what does she bring to the table?
Yeah,
Was
she
my
was just
big
an
question.
aging British socialite who liked
Yeah.
to kill puppies.
Yeah, she was just evil, for, like without
Yeah.
any regard for anything.
When you put it that way, oh my god.
I know, it's even darker,
It's
right?
very,
It's even
very
Real
darker.
dark.
And Tiona, you and I mentioned on our last after show, like, what is Cruella's power? But I like how they added a magical element to her persuasion aspect. So how did she get the magical side of her? Is she magic?
Well, I don't think
You know-
we're gonna find out just yet until
Probably
we-
not yet, but she did say a line to Rumple, I think in the flashback, where she said something along the lines of, "You don't know me or my
Yeah,
backstory
you don't know what I've
or
been
what
through."
I've
You
been
don't know
through." Yeah, you're like, you don't know me,
Girl,
Rumple.
girl.
So when she said that, I was like, "Ooh, are we gonna get her backstory? I hope it comes soon."
Yeah, it's too early for a backstory right now. Especially
Yeah.
when they're introducing all 3 girls in the first episode back from a hiatus. Yeah, we're not getting it now.
That'll be fun though when we finally find out what Cruella's story is. Like, because really,
What?
I mean, even when you
Ask
think
her
about
out.
the animated film, like, what is her deal?
You know, because I will admit, I do not like dogs. I'm not a pet person.
Yeah, she doesn't.
But I don't actively go out trying to kill and skin them to make them into fur coats. So, like, I'm a person who I'm socially awkward with pets of all kinds, cats, dogs, birds, whatever. But I'm not.
But you're not
I'm
malicious
not evil
about
or
it.
malicious. Like,
So
it's just
PETA's,
like, hey,
PETA's not coming after you.
no, I'm just like, hey, you know, like, you keep your space on, like, get
I'm
out of
gonna
my
take
bubble,
mine.
don't lick my face, like, we're
But this
cool.
is the thing. She obviously does like animals. She had those dogs with her, and she was like, "Hello, thank you, my love," like to those Rottweilers. So I'm very confused / very interested in see Once's take on her on just Cruella DeVille, because I think they're taking complete liberty with it.
Yeah.
They
Well,
are because of
whatever,
this-
but
yeah.
I mean, Archie has to stay away from.
Stay away.
And Pongo has to stay
Yeah.
away from
Exactly.
Cruella.
What if Cruella's just a dog racist? Like maybe she like Rottweilers are fine, but Dalmatians are not okay. Like what if she's just like
So
really,
she likes the black dogs, but not the white,
right,
But not the
right,
mixed ones.
but not the mixed ones. Like
not
it's
the
like
mixed
mm,
ones.
sorry,
Yeah.
nope,
Racist.
nope. Yeah, Cruella. I'm telling you, DeVille.
That would
We just
made
add a
Cruella
whole
racist.
nother layer to her.
Wow.
But I mean, it wasn't. Let's talk about the fact that they picked Rottweilers for her to be there
Right?
with instead of Dalmatians, which is usually associated with Cruella DeVille. I know Marissa has thoughts on this because Marissa is always insightful into like, oh, did you notice that Regina's wearing red this week because of this?
Well, she was wearing black this week, which was interesting.
She's in mourning.
Yeah.
She's in
Yeah,
mourning because
yeah,
she
she
still
is.
Mrs. Robin.
But my question is, why Rottweilers? Because we're all questioning the same thing. Because that just brings me back in personal. I grew up next to Rottweilers. Like my neighbors, not to get too personal, my neighbors had 5 Rottweilers. So
Aw,
like, they were
puppies.
always in my life. So like, why? I mean, they could be very, very loyal dogs, but why them? They're not really the symbolism of an evil type of. There's
No.
really no negative connotations to
No,
Rottweilers.
I disagree with you. I think Rottweilers, a lot of time you see the Rottweilers, the Doberman Pinschers, and the Pit Bulls are the ones that in movies, in cartoons, if you watch Oliver and Company, for example, the Doberman Pinschers are the bad guy dogs. So I understand why they were the Rottweilers, because obviously Dalmatians, those are not creatures she associates
They're, like,
with.
friendly.
Yeah, they're
They're
not
good.
friendly. Yeah, they're supposed to be friendly. Even though Dalmatians in real life are they're not the nicest. But I think the Rottweilers is the intimidation factor, and I think that's probably why they chose that. I don't think it's like a secret thing. Like Marissa's like, there's a reason the Rottweilers are there. There's a secret underlining tone.
We're gonna find that symbolism. We're gonna
Yeah,
find
we're gonna
it.
find it wherever we can. And thank you, Keetin, because now I have the theme song from Oliver and Company stuck in my head.
Why should I worry?
Yes.
What should I get?
So I'm over here grooving into my
All right.
own mind,
Well,
but you know.
it's all
Great
Disney.
soundtrack.
Amazing.
Yeah, so after Cruella uses her power of persuasion to get the green beetles off the door so they can enter this room, Maleficent then has to use her powers to suck up all the fire from the dragon that it came from or something like that. We already knew her power. And then Ursula uses her tentacles to reach across and grab the curse. Now, because this came in threes, it definitely, and I know Marissa's with me on this, reminded me of Harry Potter because there's
Yeah.
like the 3 stages
Oh,
to get
yeah.
through. And
I thought it was
Totally.
like Philosopher's Stone. I'm like, there it is. Rumpel wants Philosopher's Stone. Where's the chessboard? I want that next.
Yeah, well, Harry Potter had more stages than 3. But for this, I seeing Ursula just grab it, I was like, that was way too easy. But then I was thinking, if it was Temple of Doom or something, of course there's like booby traps on the floor.
Right.
So they had to use her power for that, which is, it seems fairly simple, and it does come in handy. Didn't. But I mean, it was simple. I like how fast it was, like how they executed it. Because I felt, and we'll get more into it, but each thing was really fast tonight. They're like, okay, done, we solved it.
I do feel like tonight's episode, because it was the first one back and they were trying to give us so much, a lot of things did feel rushed because even, so they, they take the thing, Rumpel's like, haha, gotcha, suckers. Actually, there's this Chernabog thing that's going to come after you and it's going to go after the person with the darkest heart, with the potential for the darkest heart. Very keyword there. Potential for the darkest heart. So, see you later, suckers. And then the way they kind of executed their plan to get out of there, it was very quick also. So I feel like everything, like you said, did move at a escalated pace of like, here's a problem. Oh, we solved it. Here's another problem. Oh, we solved it. And I don't know how I feel about that.
That kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. I mean, Once is... I love Once and I hate Once for dragging things out for as long as they do. So it was very strange to me how fast forward this episode was. But it's still like, even as quick as it was, I was still like, I feel like I wanted more. I wanted more information. I just felt like they rushed through all these things, and I'm like, wait. I still like that. I need something.
They could have dropped one of the storylines to give us longer in another.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And I think they were just adding so many things because they knew everyone is the first episode back. We want to know everything because we've been gone for so long. One, in our world. Two, what just happened. We're flash forwarding months, later and stuff like that. So I think they just needed to have a little less information in the episode so they could really focus on other things. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a writer for the show.
Can I ask you a question, though? And if anybody can answer this, please let me know out there in the universe. Why the heck is Once Upon a Time still in 1999 with the cell phone,
The computer.
with the computers, and
they're
with
like,
you got mail?
We are
It's
dial-up. We are
internet.
dial-up.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
dial-up kids. The struggle is so real.
Let's
Goodness.
talk about that, because then we get into present day Storybrook and our present day New York City. Rumpelstiltskin and Ursula are still hanging out. She's still working at the aquarium.
I mean, Ursula working at that aquarium is everything.
and she has an aquarium in her apartment too. I mean,
I could have had 7 more scenes of just Merendungi just walking around with those fish in those tanks. Like, I'm
kept
just like,
popping
girl,
her
just
head.
act for me right now.
it was like, here's the fish tank and the fish are. I'm right here talking to you now, Rumple. Oh, I'm over here now, Rumple.
She required the fish tank filter for her to be on this episode.
But the fact that there weren't 2 eels in one of the aquariums,
I know.
missed opportunity.
I know.
Flotsam and Jetsam, hello.
they might
That
be
needs
coming.
to be-
Maybe they're going to be
Maybe
people.
back.
They might be
Okay.
back.
Which actually
I'm
goes
gonna-
back to the sea.
I'm
maybe.
holding my breath. Don't make me die once upon a time.
Yeah.
So that's what we were talking about. Gold gets this email and it's like, ding, you've got mail just randomly popping up on his screen, and we're sitting here like, that doesn't happen anymore.
Like you do in 98.
Yeah, like that's so 1998.
So You Got Mail. Like, when did that movie come out?
1998.
Yeah, 98.
Oh, that was 98. Oh,
Yeah.
We need Tom Hanks back, you know.
On my way to Spice
Yeah.
World, I had to check some emails.
But he finally is like, okay, it's time. Let's go find, the next person. We're going to take a trip. They go up to Long Island, and where they find Cruella Feinberg.
Feinberg.
Cruella, I mean, marrying a Jew in the Hamptons. Like, it's everything. It's like, I want a musical just about that story. Like,
And with but Cruella has to be played by a drag queen with better drag queen makeup than she had on.
honey, that face was busted. Ooh, Lord.
Here's my thing. How does someone walk around in our day as Cruella DeVille and no one's like, hey, you're just like Cruella DeVille.
Hey, I like your hair choice.
Yeah, like your hair choice, your car choice, the furs you walk around with.
But
like,
she's
the
rich.
accent.
Yeah, those East Hampton people, they are so narcissistic.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even notice.
They're rich. She doesn't care. She doesn't care.
I wish we would have gotten to meet her hubby though, who's obviously being arrested for some type of embezzlement. You gotta go imagine.
Mr. Feinberg. Whatever happened to Mr. Feinberg?
And I'd like to know. Oh, so the email that Rumple gets, this is kind of fast forwarding a little bit, but at the time when he got it, I thought it was like a notification that, her stuff was getting seized, so it's time to go get her.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm thinking, was it the email
Belle.
from Belle? And then that's why he was like, okay, now we can...
Yep, it's the email from Belle.
Oh,
It was probably like, thank you so much, it worked, we love you, or I really appreciate it. Belle.
XOXO.
XOXO Belle.
I love that Belle's emails are like a 12-year-old girl in your mind. I
Wow,
love
now
it.
I'm never going to send you an email
I
because
love
that's
it.
how I write emails.
No, that's how I write emails
Okay,
too.
yeah,
There is
see?
no shade here. I am the king of XOXO and exclamation points.
But the new Belle, Hermione Granger, I doubt she writes emails.
Oh my god, it's going to be
XOXO.
amazing.
Oh,
We can
Yeah.
save that for news and
yeah,
gossip.
that's
Yeah,
oh my
definitely.
goodness.
Definitely.
That's a whole
We
nother
We digress.
show.
We digress.
It's all right.
So they go on a little journey after they pick up Cruella and convince her. Gold tells them that he can get them back everything they've lost and more. He's got a new plan to get them all their happy endings because this time it's different because he actually is looking for his. So on their way to Maine, they decide to stop at a drive-thru.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Cluck Cluck?
How
Cluck,
funny
cluck.
was
Have a
that?
cluck, cluck day.
Is that like Once Upon a Time's version of Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A. Yes, it was like a ratchet Chick-fil-A.
No, it was like Popeyes. It was no Chick-fil-A.
I don't know. I think it was
Don't
more
shame
Chick-fil-A
Popeyes.
because
I love Popeyes, but I'm telling you.
no, but I'm saying they got 2 combos and it was like $18. That is Chick-fil-A. That ain't Popeyes.
True story.
And they're in
That's
New
some
York.
overpriced chicken right there.
I don't know what came in that combo. It must have came with some gold because 2
on.
combos for
$18.
$20.
I didn't even realize that it was that
Yeah,
expensive.
Right? If that is coming out of a window, no thank you.
No,
was expensive.
It was really expensive. I was like, dang, for someone who works at the aquarium and someone wose money just got sieged, y'all balling right
All
now.
right,
I
Yeah.
guess.
all right.
Rumple's
And
like,
they're
I
in
can't
New
afford
York.
Yeah, and they're in New York. But on their way, they finally get to the town line, which Rumple left his tie on a tree so that he would know how to get back home and how to find the line. He has a plan in place, and he has them call Regina to kind of get her to let them back into the town. And
On their flip phone.
on their flip phone.
On that
From-
phone, 98.
from like
98.
2001.
I mean, I was waiting for him to pull the antenna out from it too. I wanted that moment.
That was
I
like
got a phone.
pre-Razor. That phone was pre-Razor.
Oh yeah,
phone.
no,
And
that was like
when I
just
think-
after the Motorola gray flip. Like,
Like when I think back in the day phones, I think Razor or like the Nokia. Like,
Razor was like
when you play
2006.
Snake on it.
Yeah, Razor
There
was-
was even
Razor
no,
was,
there
like,
was no
kinda
Snake.
cool.
no
Like
game.
what they were
Yeah.
using, it was like 5
liked
years
the
before.
I
Razor.
know. That's what I'm saying. It was old.
It was.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was.
antique.
but can we talk about one missed opportunity here? That Ursula, so Ursula could have made a phone call, like her.
On a seashell?
Well, no, but like the cell phone, whatever. But like Ursula's whole thing is she steals people's voices. So why couldn't she have like impersonated someone's voice to like get them into the town? Wouldn't that have been kind of cool? I don't know.
be like-
I don't write.
But
I don't
they're
write the show. I
trying-
should.
but
I
they're not
should
like
stop.
they're not like hiding who they are. Like they're
Right.
trying
They're
to
trying
be
to get
themselves.
in as themselves.
And it was also like evil queens also talking to Regina, who used to be evil. So
Right.
there's that camaraderie
Camaraderie of
there.
Who they
we're
still
bad
think
too.
is evil.
You know
Yeah.
what we're going through.
I get it.
Because you did it. So.
Yeah, so but I want to talk about this cell phone because part of me, like, we joke about how they're still stuck in the past, but in a way, I get the choices that they're making because Storybrook has been frozen
true.
one time since they got there. Like, they've been frozen for 28 years, so they haven't had a lot of outside new technology coming in.
Yeah, nothing can really come in.
Yeah, so I could see Gold, getting into our world and being kind of like, even with the microwave, Ursula's like, that means it's done. He's like, I know how to do this. It's still like they're learning new ways, so I get it, but at the same time, he could have a more updated phone.
There are no iPhones in Storybrook.
He wasn't walking
Emma
around.
has an iPhone.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah.
That's a
Emma
good
has an
point. That's
iPhone.
very true.
And
I'm confused.
But is it an iPhone 1?
It looked like a 5, but
Well, if it was a 6, it would be as big as her head, so I don't think it's a 6.
yeah, so they call Regina, and then this is when we get into what's happening in Storybrook. And I just want to say I'm so happy because for a while they were all happy. There was actually nothing wrong. Everyone's living in perfect harmony.
6 weeks. It's been
they're
great.
so happy.
Henry's
I
back
love
in
it.
school. Mary Margaret's teaching him
High
still, but
schoolers.
it's
Talking
not
about birds.
kindergarten anymore. It's
I mean.
like 10th grade or 12th grade because he's probably in college by now.
Right?
Granny's babysitting baby Neil. Regina's back in her office. We
Lighting
have-
portraits on fire.
yeah, just
Yep.
she's like, oh, birds, I don't need you anymore.
Everyone's so happy.
Yeah, everyone's happy. Emma and Hook
up
up
for
for life.
That man. Hallelujah.
They're happy, and everyone's just happy, and it's so nice to see the day-to-day life go back to normal. But then, we do see that Hook and Belle are working together. They're trying to figure out a way to save the fairies, to get them out of the hat. Hook feels really remorseful about his actions, the actions that he played in getting them into the hat, and just everything that kind of happened with him and Rumple when he was heartless.
Which pisses me off. Like, Hook, come on. Like, Hook has never been, like, this type of... Like, this is not the Hook that we knew even before he got his heart ripped out. So it's kind of confusing me a little bit that he's being such a Debbie Downer now. Like, like beating himself up. It's like, Hook, get over it. Like...
That was 6 weeks ago.
It was 6 weeks ago, first of all. Second of all...
You have had time to heal.
It
Yeah.
wasn't your fault. You had
Move
no
on.
control over your actions. And third of all, the fairies are back. Everything's fine.
Well, they're sure.
Pen drop.
Okay, all right.
my
And she dropped the
But I don't know. I kind of like this because I think it shows that his character is actually changing. And I know a lot of people have been saying, that they don't believe that Hook is changed and they still don't trust him. But the fact that he is showing remorse for something he did when he was out of control, when he had no control over the situation, to me, it's a sign of, hey, he is changing as a person. He's trying to be better. Evil can become good. And we're seeing it with Regina as well right now, too.
Yeah.
So I like this.
Well, and I
sensitive
mean,
Hook.
the whole ambiguity of Hook as a character is sort of interesting because even when you go back to like the animated Peter Pan, like he's a character that's like, well, he's had his fair share of attacks as well. He's not just pure evil.
Yeah.
So I love that they've carried that sort of ambiguous thing into this Once Upon a Time world because it's like, yeah, he's not necessarily like horrible all the time.
Yeah, and to add to that, we know that Hook's character, just in and of itself, from the Disney movie and from this, or J.M. Barrie's version, that, like, Hook is an emotional guy.
Totally.
Like, he is just purely human with, with the magical elements added because of the show, but he is a real human being.
Yeah, and he doesn't have magic.
Yeah, he doesn't have magic. He really has emotional feelings and human feelings.
and a hook. Still.
And a beautiful face in this
Such
version.
stunning
Yes.
eyes.
All right,
Oh, you
all
melt
right,
me, Hook.
okay.
Hook up.
Keetin,
I'm
back off my man. Everyone knows.
All I have to
All
say
right.
is, if you guys ever
We
get
can
that guy
admire.
in studio, if I am not in that studio too, I will be angry. I will be so angry.
Girl, if he comes in here, no one else is gonna.
Yeah.
Anyways, back
There
to the
will be-
show. So Hook and Belle are working together. Regina and Emma are working together to try. They're looking for the sorcerer, to get her happy ending back. And we see that Regina, as they're looking for clues and stuff. I love that because we saw her rip up the picture of
Yes,
her and
okay.
Robin.
I have something to say about this because I am so Team Outlaw Queen. So
All right.
seeing that page, I was like, oh, Regina taped it together. She has hope. She still is hoping for Robin to come back into her life and sweep her off of her feet. Yes, and that is all I have to say about that.
I like it.
I love it
I'm
when
on board.
Marissa
I'm on
gets
board.
excited.
I'm on board with
I love
Marissa's
it.
I'm like,
theory.
it's a
Well,
lot.
like
There's a lot.
she manually taped that page together. She wants it to
She,
happen.
not only did she do that, she went back to the street to pick it up because in the last episode she ripped it up, threw it, and kept walking. And the merry men were just sitting there like, oh, okay. So she went back, picked it up, and taped it back together. And she's always the one who's saying, don't give me a hope speech. You know, I'm sick of you Charmings coming here and telling me I have to have hope. But like you said, Marissa, clearly she does have hope because she went back, she put it back together, and she still...
She still wants
told
it to
Emma
happen.
about it. Like
Yeah.
she was honest with Emma about it instead of just like she was like, oh God, don't find it. And like a lot of times Regina would just shuts off and says, don't worry about it. You know, that's her first reaction usually. But for her to be like, you know, Robin gave that to me and he found, and like to be honest with Emma and talk to her about what happens. I'm like, yay, Regina, talking about your feelings. This is so healthy.
Therapy
And
with
also
Emma.
being friendly with Emma because I love when those two work together.
Oh my
Totally.
God, them together, both of them just working together throughout this whole episode was amazing.
great.
Swan Queen?
Amazing. Swan Queen.
Swan Queen.
Love it.
Hashtag Swan
They had some
Queen.
chemistry too. Like there were some times when they were looking at each other. I was like, "Make out already, you two." Like it was like I was like, "I don't know what direction we're going, but she's got hooked. She's covered."
She's covered. So we do see that Belle did find a ceremony that they could use to open up the hat to release the fairies, and that she got from the Oxford professor, who we later found out was Rumpelstiltskin. She doesn't know that yet. So they do this ceremony, and Blue is back, and the first thing she says is, "Thank God," or someone said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "No, but I'll live." Being trapped in there with, and then she stopped.
Oh.
And she didn't say
Yeah.
what they were in there with, but then we see the black smoke.
Oh,
of
the smoke monster from Lost. He came to Storybrook.
Yeah.
But like, really, how did no one out of everyone that just
Exactly
returned
what they
and
do.
people, how did
We
no
all
one
said that.
see that ominous, obviously black evil smoke?
They were all in a group hug.
Yeah,
which
they
is
were in like that
weird.
nunnery, like we're all nuns
But it
and
was
we're
like
alive
wide
again.
open
How do we
space.
solve the
How can you
problem?
not see that?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it was weird. Maybe he was just really quiet coming out, so you know they're all happy in their hug and no one was paying attention.
Saw the
Yeah.
evil smoke pouring out,
Yeah, no
turning
one-
into
no
a
one
Dementor
turned
that
their
then
head.
became a gargoyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing's out and no one knows about it. Blue is acting weird, I thought. But
Well, she was trapped in the hat.
she
with
was
that.
trapped in the hat, but I want to know what happened in the hat.
Yeah, why
I-
wasn't that like the first discussion they had? Was like what was going on in there? How like, come on, Emma, you're sheriff. Like, figure stuff out. Come on, dude.
And especially because Blue had just said, you know, we were trapped in there with, and didn't complete her sentence and just kind of shrugged and was scared of it. So why wouldn't you then, I don't know, be cautious about, oh, you guys only let us out, right? You didn't let anything else that we were
Right,
trapped in there
right.
with.
You
Well,
would think
and-
she would give them a heads up.
Yeah.
Do you think they were like? Do you think the thing she was gonna say they were trapped in there with was the chupacabra, whatever the hell it was?
Chernabog.
It was a Chernabar. I don't know how to say the name.
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca, she did
Not a
not.
Star Wars reference.
No, I think
You
it
think
was
there's
something
something
worse.
else? Okay.
I think there were more things in there than besides the Chernabog.
Because remember,
Yeah.
every star was like a person or represented someone in there that was on the hat.
Of an
right?
entity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
of some sort of entity. So I think there's way worse that was in
Oh,
there. And we don't know if they're all in
fairies.
there just sitting around together or if they're all separated in like isolation.
It's true, and the Chernabog, the creature itself, is known for summoning other demons and evil creatures. So who knows what other evil things were in that hat?
Fingers crossed for Hades,
and-
just saying. Putting it out there.
Have that written down.
That's when I said Greek mythology brings some
The
of that in.
planets aligning.
Planets aligning. Can we get some
Hello.
Hercules
Get
tie-ins?
some,
I
get some
just
titans
please.
as well.
Titans need to be released. The Titans
Release
or
the
the
Titans.
Kraken. Chinabob.
I'm really interested too to see how this affects how the fairies are. Because, you know, they've been stuck in there with dark things, so will that change the way that they're...
Dark fairies.
That, you know, will they turn into dark fairies? Will
Ooh.
they
That's
be
a good point.
fighting, like, the temptation to go dark? Because, you know, it's, the second half is all about darkness and villains and, you know, if you're born evil or if you kind of learn your
Choose to
evil.
be
Or do you have wickedness thrust upon
Yeah,
you?
that's
Oh,
what
thank you, Wicked. Thank you, Wicked. Glinda,
Yes.
sing,
Sorry.
Glinda,
I'm so
sing.
sorry. I couldn't resist.
so great.
It was like Tourette's.
No one mourns the wicked, you guys.
They
so-
don't. They don't.
I'm so excited
No
for
good
the
deed,
movie.
y'all. No good deed.
So once we learned this, we're at the coffee shop celebrating or at Granny's celebrating because everyone goes
where we
to
party.
Granny's. That's where we party.
the only restaurant.
Yeah, and Regina goes to the Blue Fairy and is like, hey, I have this book here. Like, do you know where we can find the sorcerer? Because I kind of want to ask him for, my happy ending. It's really weird. It's awkward, I know. And she was kind of, embarrassed.
Bad
to say,
timing.
Yeah, bad timing.
You just got back, but
But Blue's face was, you haven't found the sorceress here. He's like this big, very different person than the author who you need. Which it's like, oh, whoa, like the flashbacks we've seen of the sorcerer's apprentice, at least, didn't make him out to seem like a bad guy.
or is he influenced by something else that makes him somewhat evil?
Yeah. So
It's weird because this was the first time that it's like, oh, this is two distinct personalities. This
Yeah.
is not the
Right.
same person.
and because we thought they were the same. So in New York with Rumple, he's saying, he keeps talking about the author to Ursula, and over
Right.
here we're talking about the sorcerer, and the audience, or at least I thought we were talking about the same person.
Yeah, me too.
And we find out that they're actually two very different people.
Walt Disney.
Well, I mean, yeah, duh. He's definitely the author.
He's the author. He's the author.
They're gonna unfreeze his body just so that we can come back for this show.
Is this just a commercial for Mickey and the Magical Map?
Maybe.
Probably.
There we go. It's
5 shows a day at
They really
Disneyland.
committed.
The Fantasyland Theater.
But Blue does say that no one has seen the author for many years, and she wasn't sure why the sorcerer had the author's blank books, which kind of
Well, they found a location.
author's
Yeah,
in the
'cause they have
hat.
Like,
yeah. So we don't know if the sorcerer did something to the author because no one has heard from him in a while. But they do think
Or
that he
her.
or her, sorry, him or her.
She better.
And then we learned that the author allegedly left clues in their work, aka maybe Henry's book has clues as to where we can find this author. If you look,
It's the Mickey Mouse ears. You got to look for the Mickey
the
ears.
hidden
Yeah,
Mickey.
hidden
Mickey. It's a hidden
Hidden
Mickey.
Mickeys all
Of
over.
course. Why didn't we think? Yes, of course.
Hidden Mickeys, if you don't know what those are, if you go to Disneyland, there are hidden Mickeys everywhere. And it's
So much fun.
It's a lot of fun to play, and they're hard to find.
Just
Very
go
hard
fall
to
into a Tumblr wormhole right now.
Yeah,
You'll,
just go-
you'll be out in like 6 hours.
We'll finish watching our show first, and then go look at that. So then this is when we hear that scream and crash, and it's like, oh no, what's happening outside? Who's ruining our property value this time? That's Regina's line, which I love.
she
Thanks,
better.
Regina.
Yeah, thank you,
man.
Regina. And then we go out, and that's when we see that the Chernabog is out, and everyone's freaking out. How are we gonna kill it? Take care of it? Regina and Emma work together with their magic to stun it.
I love their nod to each other. Like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, we got this.
Let's handle
Yeah.
this.
It's like, got it.
I just love how into her magical side Emma has become, because it was like one day I know nothing, the next day I'm gonna accept who I am. I know everything.
I'm gonna take on
We're
the
just
world.
we're just gonna look, nod, and I'm gonna go, ooh, and white stuff's gonna come out of my hands, and it's gonna be awesome. What was that?
Everyone
I'm
was
sorry.
like,
I did that.
what's my power?
And then I got I got an epiphany of who the author might be. So
Oh,
I'm gonna write it
oh,
down.
oh, you.
See, I used my magic.
Yeah.
I used my
Okay.
magic.
So their plan is, after talking to Ursula and finding out that the Chernabog is after the person with the potential for the darkest heart, is to get the beast over the line of the town line, because then no magic is there, so they'll be safe. So they are under the assumption that the beast is after Regina, because after Rumpelstiltskin's gone, who else is there
She's
with the
the
dark
most
heart?
evil.
Right.
She's the most evil. So
Or
they
is she?
Or is she?
Could have
It's
been Mary
potential.
Margaret.
Yeah.
It's potential.
I
It
thought
so
Mary
could have been Mary
too,
Margaret.
'cause
Could have been
She's
Mary
got a
Margaret.
black heart. She had a little
Yeah, she
black
has a spot on her
Well,
heart.
no, now she only has half a heart.
That's right.
Oh, that's
Her
true.
and-
That's
her and
true.
Charming are splitting a heart right now.
Yeah.
But she still has the potential to be evil.
Yeah, I mean,
Good luck, Snow.
Homegirl has killed someone before, so
She has.
Homegirl
that don't
cry.
go away.
And
So-
we saw another little side of her.
Yeah,
tonight.
we'll get to
We'll get to
that.
that.
So Regina and Emma take off in the car trying to get to the county line, and the yellow bug which now Regina
Why yellow?
chooses to question her on why it's yellow.
Really? Season 4? She's been driving that car forever.
That is the other thing. Don't mess with the yellow bug, Chernabog, whatever the gargoyle, Chernabog.
Chernabog.
I was like, no, when he punched the window.
Yeah, so
Leave the bug
Well,
alone.
that's what insurance is for.
Yeah, in Storybrook, really, you think they got car like that car?
Magical insurance.
True story. Magic,
some magic insurance.
Magic.
so
It's called waving your hand.
yeah, so they're able to get the beast.
Arculus Reparo.
That's not the right spell.
It's
No, yeah,
Reparo.
it's
It is.
Oculus
Oculus
Reparo.
Reparo, right?
Come on now.
So they get the beast across the line and save the day. Yay, we're happy. Okay, now we made a deal with Cruella de Vil and Ursula that if their information panned out, we might consider letting them in. They're going to use the scroll to get them over. And then Charming and Snow come up and they're like, we don't think this is a good idea. You guys should not let them over. And at this point, I'm thinking, why do they not want them here so bad? I mean, I get it in the grand scheme. It's like, hey, we're actually having a nice time, right now.
Let's not
Like,
add
no one's-
insult to
yeah.
injuries.
No one's been kidnapped lately. Like, no one's house has gone up in flames.
Right?
Like, we're living a pretty good life here. But it seemed like there was something more pressing them, which we find out later there is, because they do let in Ursula and Cruella. And they're like, oh, thanks. Yeah, we're so changed. And it's like,
No, you're not.
That was super gangster of them, that scene in the end with the two
Yeah.
cars and the lights.
Like,
I
right.
loved it.
yeah.
We're
So,
badass.
so now that they're in, it's kind of like, ooh, what's going to come next? And so they end up coming back at night to let Rumple back into Storybrook using the same scroll as them. Did you guys think they were actually going to go back for him? Because I know at one point he was like, I have to trust that you guys are going to come back for me.
I think so, because those Cruella and Ursula are really determined to get their happy endings, and they know the only way to do that is to have Rumple. Because
Totally.
I don't think they both know that they're not powerful enough to execute this curse.
Well, and they don't understand. They don't know Storybrook. They don't know any of the people. They don't know how to get around it. They need Rumple if they're going to use Storybrook to get their happy ending.
But they also pulled a gun on him earlier. Like, they were
Oh,
like,
well,
hey.
Persuasion.
And at this point.
Persuasion.
Yeah,
Persuasion.
and at this point, they already know his plan. They know what, or at least he says that, I've told you my entire plan. Everything's up to you now. So they really could, in their minds, think we don't need him.
Well, they know they need a curse, not a spell. But how to enact the curse, I don't think they know how to do that yet.
Okay. I like.
Until they get Maleficent, who knows how.
Well, she knows how to do it.
Yeah,
all.
Maleficent knows how to do everything.
All of it.
It's Angelina Jolie.
So then we get to, like, the most interesting scene of the episode to me was this one. Snow and Charming are missing in action when everyone's supposed to be, like, together. And they're out in the forest meeting Ursula and Cruella face to face in the rain. And it's like, hey, this is our town. If you mention to anyone what we did in the past, I'll rip your heart out.
Yeah, but suddenly all kinds of Godfather.
Yeah.
I tell you, it was real
Like,
gangster. It was
yeah,
a real
really
gangster
was.
moment.
Like,
I was
all
like,
right,
all right,
Snow.
okay.
You kill someone's mama, and all of a sudden you the big bad. I'm gonna rip your heart
Big
out
bad
too.
wolf.
Like,
Girl.
okay, girl.
Like, you don't need to be
So,
scared of
alright.
Regina anymore. You gotta be scared of Snow.
seriously. But yeah, so that's a little more. We'll save what we think that's all about for predictions, but. Overall thoughts on this episode coming back after a, what was it, 3 month hiatus?
3 months.
3 month
months, yeah.
hiatus.
Like December 18th.
Yeah. How did you guys feel? Did this give you what you wanted coming back, or did you expect more?
I thought it was a very exciting reintroduction to the show. Coming back with a lot of stuff going on in Seoul Once Upon a Time. Sometimes I felt it was too much. But I like the fact that it ended everyone with more questions that we want to be answered. And that's what Once Upon a does so well. It's all questions.
I feel like I will disagree with you. I feel like the only question I have only 2 questions after this episode. My 2 questions are, 1, what the hell is Mary Margaret and Prince Charming talking about? Like, what did they do? And the other one is like, okay, the sorcerer is not the author, then who's the author? Those are the only 2 things that I'm like questioning now. So I feel like it wasn't enough for me.
Okay. Blake?
The thing that stuck out the most for me was that Belle's eyelash game was on point. And her hair, I mean, there's like 17 extra pounds of weave.
Yeah.
Oh, so
that girl.
Aside from that, I really liked the episode, and I thought, I'm excited. I'm super excited to find out this whole Cruella thing, like what the backstory is, how they're going to introduce magic into her story, Ursula's tie-in with Snow and Charming. Like, I'm all in. I'm all in for the Queens of Darkness.
Yay. All right, well, before we get into predictions, I have some news and gossip.
Well, what do you think of the episode?
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
She wants more.
I want more. So Entertainment Weekly sat down with the creators of the show, Adam Horowitz and Edward Kitsis, and I'm just going to highlight a couple of the fun things, but you can go to entertainmentweekly.com to see the full article. So one of the questions was the dark secret and the revelation about Emma, are they connected? Since we know now that, Emma's connected and possibly going to be going dark, and that revelation and stuff. So they said there are revelations you can have about people that they themselves don't even know about. This predates Emma's birth.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking, like, what kind of deal with the devil did Snow and Charming make about Emma, or something that would make her have the ability to be dark if she was,
Well, didn't they make a deal with Rumpel beforehand, too?
Yeah, but I feel like there's a deal with Ursula
before Emma
and...
was born, because he wanted the first baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Born.
Right.
They also talked about Will Scarlet, aka Michael Sosha, because we know he's a series regular, but they haven't been using him at all.
And he's my favorite.
So
All he
I
does
want
is
him
run
back.
away.
it's like
And get drunk.
Yeah, it's like they asked, will we finally find out what he's doing there, what he's been up to, and Edward Kitsis said, we're going to see how Robin Hood and Will actually met. We saw them together and how he joined the Merry Men, but for the people who watched that Wonderland episode, you'll see that wasn't the very first time they met. We're going to dive fully into why he's there. We're definitely going to see more of Will in this back half.
Okay.
So that's exciting, because
That's
I know a
cool.
lot of people were kind of like, he's there, but he's not doing anything.
Right.
So that was a little weird for all of us.
It felt like they just gave him the least amount of lines he needed to fulfill his contract. That's what I felt like.
It was basically
sad.
Like we
we're
want to
gonna-
keep you around.
Yeah, it's like, we're going to make you a series regular because we don't want you to go get another
Yeah,
show
yeah,
so that
that's
you
what it
can't
was.
do it. So we have to put you here and pay you money and put you in episodes, but we're not going to need you till the second half of
Yeah,
the season.
I think you're exactly right.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks, but hey, he's still got a paycheck.
Yeah, I was like, that's a great job. He's still
Yeah.
getting
Yeah,
paid.
you get that. You
You
get
get
that
your-
credit.
I'll
Not
take
doing
that.
anything.
Get your money. And then the last thing I wanted to point out, they said, will we see any new worlds in the second half of the season? And Horowitz said, we're going to be seeing some new worlds and some old worlds again. And Kitsis followed that up with, we're going to see Oz again, and we're going to see the Sherwood Forest and a few surprises.
Oh.
So who knows
Does
what
ABC
else
Mount
is out
Olympus.
there.
Does ABC
Mount
own
Olympus.
No.
No.
But
why
they
not?
should.
They should. And then also in other news, like Keetin mentioned earlier, there is a new Beauty and the Beast movie being made.
Directed by Bill Condon, who
Yes.
wrote Chicago and directed Dreamgirls. So this is like, this is big.
Live action. It's very
Oh my
exciting.
God.
Next week we have Cinderella coming into theaters.
I just
Or-
did I covered the premiere today, so you guys make sure you check out those videos and those interviews online. But talk about Disney throwing down for an epic premiere. There were stilt walkers, there were chandeliers, Grumpy Cat was there. It was stunning. It was a beautiful, beautiful event.
And also, Cinderella has the short film of the Frozen short film at the beginning of it, so you have to go see Cinderella.
Like a double whammy of awesomeness. And Adam Horowitz tweeted out the other day that Barbara Hershey is coming back.
I love
Thank
her.
He
God.
said we're excited to welcome Barbara Hershey back
Yes.
to the family for Once Upon a Time. So I don't know if it's 1 episode, 2 episodes, how many, what we're gonna get, but Cora
We'll take
will
whatever we
be
can get, Cora.
making
You-
an appearance
Yes.
again.
So fabulous.
So, I mean, and there's
Amazing.
so many other awesome things that happened over the hiatus that, everyone already knows about, so I'm not going to bore you with the details. So let's get into predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right, I think Keetin should go first because she kept writing stuff down while we were talking. and throwing me off.
I'm so sorry. Stop looking at me. Don't look at me. So I think that like as much as I feel like you want Hercules and Mount Olympus to come in, I feel like the planets aligning. They were talking about the things aligning. I feel like the next world we're gonna go to is gonna be Mount Olympus. I really, really want Hades. I want that to be the evilest, whatever.
And
dark
we have
one.
Poseidon coming too, so
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like that it just is screaming at the writers. Please give us Greek mythology, give us Hercules, give us all of that. And on top of that, the epiphany I had when I went like this was like maybe the author of the book is Yoda, because I know that's so random.
Let's tie all the worlds in. Everything that Disney owns. Let's put it all
you
up.
might as well
Wars.
use it. You know,
Amen.
you might as well use it.
We
but
know that they're huge fans of that franchise. So
I mean, right?
no putting
I
past
would
them.
not be angry, Yoda.
I'd be okay with Yoda. I think because we do see Regina and Emma talking on the cell phone to Cruella and Ursula, so there is some connection there. What if Robin and Regina connect somehow, and then Regina realizes, hey, this magical scroll can get Robin back across the line.
Bam.
Boom! Team
Bam.
Outlaw Queen comes back together.
But what is he gonna do about his wife? Because the whole point of him going was that
So
she
what,
wasn't.
Marion?
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Oh, girl,
All right.
bye. Oh,
Bye,
she just
Felicia.
girl, bye,
Wait, you
Marion.
guys,
Oh,
yeah, we missed one thing.
What?
We missed Rumpelstiltskin coming back into the town at the end of the episode and just walking through the middle of town like, I'm here, guys! Why?
But then saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be doing all my work from the background,"
Right.
but you're walking down
Not
the
so
middle of the
much.
street.
Not so much.
What are you doing? What are
Like,
you
you know,
doing?
people are out late sometimes. Anyone could see you and be like, "Wait, he's not supposed to be here."
And then also with the Chernabog creature, I think that was too simple to destroy that. Just to throw it across the line and kind of maybe dissipate.
Yeah, that's
Because
coming back to haunt us.
Everything that crosses the line we haven't seen destroyed. We see it come full figure on the other side. So how did that
But we haven't
disappear?
seen anything purely magical go through.
Yeah,
there.
that was only magic.
because everyone else
I don't
has like
know.
a human aspect to them. So it's like they lost their magic on their way out.
What if
I
he's just like a
think it was
really
just too
sad,
simple.
unattractive, gargoyle-y looking man?
That's what I was
we were gonna
expecting.
get
I
Hunchback
was-
in Notre Dame or Notre Dame.
No.
Oh my
I
god, if it's Quasimodo, that's too much. Then I'll cry. Then I'll cry.
didn't say that.
No, but I actually was expecting it to turn into like some sort of human,
Like
form
fast
of,
talking
like,
gargoyle.
Yeah,
Like,
like
hey.
I expected it to
Hey.
turn into
Sorry.
something across the line. But
Right, something
nothing
besides smoke.
happened.
But and also just one more thing. I think more evil creatures are coming out of that hat.
Oh yeah, that
Definitely,
Floodgate
The
definitely.
Sure.
Chernabog could get out. Who knows what else could get out?
yeah. All right, Blake, what do you have for predictions?
Predictions? You know, I think that this whole, I think there's something to be said for this Cruella backstory. I think it's going to be something unexpected. I think it's going to be something darker than we thought, because they're not going to introduce her for no reason. Like,
No.
this is gonna be big. I think she might actually be the most potent character in the snow charming whatever that deal was.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong.
And I'm going to predict that the deal that whatever happened between the the snow charming Ursula Cruella thing, I think it has to do with whatever this new path we're going on where Emma could become dark and she has the most potential for darkness. I think this has something to tie in with that. I don't know if they had to go to them, maybe Snow couldn't get pregnant or something, so they made a deal like, hey, I want to get pregnant, help me out, and they're coming to collect their debt or something. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's connected to Emma and the dark side that she has that we haven't seen yet. But I also think that Hook will be there the whole time and he'll help her overcome her darkness and become magical and
With lots
Or
of
she'll
long,
kill
slow
them.
close-ups.
yes. And hand to Hook holding, and it's gonna be so cute and precious. Hooker for life.
You can
Oh,
hold my hand.
I can
That's
okay.
Got it.
There's, okay. All right.
Maybe it
There are
should be like
hand
that.
signals. This is really intense. Okay.
It's
right.
getting
We had
real up in
moments.
here.
So real.
So, does anyone else have any other predictions before next week's exciting episode?
If Emma goes full dark, she could kill Hook.
That's not gonna happen. So,
No. We will cut you, Emma. We will cut you.
Or maybe Emma will become the big baddie of the season compared to the other 3 Queens of Darkness, and Regina is the big good of the season. She's the one that overcomes Emma.
I would like that. That'd be cool.
fun.
That'd be really
Awesome.
cool.
I like it. I do like it.
Well, guys, make sure you let us know your predictions. Where can everyone find you guys on social media?
You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Keetin Marchi.
And you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Serafini TV.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake McIver.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at the Tiona Hobson. Make sure you follow AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram. What's Facebook? I don't know if any. Facebook, I said that already.
Everywhere.
MySpace, all those things.
Facebook.
Subscribe, and like. Give us 5 stars.
Yeah, give us 5 stars on iTunes. Make sure you leave a comment on our YouTube channel and tell us your predictions and what you think. Who is the author? Who is the author?
it?
That's
I'm
the
so
big
glad
question.
the show is back.
Yeah.
I was going
Yay.
through withdrawals.
Serious withdrawals, guys. I mean, it's been a long time, but we're back and we're here till May. So,
You're stuck with us.
You're stuck with us, but until next week, we will see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.